You will see lots of things going on in our schools, from literacy to problem solving, technology, and one of the things that you will really see us honing in on is using assessments that help us meet the needs of students, whether it means enriching them or whether it means providing some type of intervention to help them get to the next level of learning. We have just done a spectacular job with our partners, with Ready NWI and our higher education partners would be taking a look at the dual credit opportunities that we're providing for our students. Dual credit meaning that they can receive college credit as well as high school credit while they're attending high school through courses that have the same syllabus and the same rigor and requirements as a college class. And those dual credits have increased tremendously in Northwest Indiana through the professional development of our teachers and the partnerships with those higher educational institutions. We had, and this came from the Center of Workforce Innovation, we had 453 dual credit classes offered in 41 schools in Northwest Indiana for a total of 9,200 dual credit hours for our students in Northwest Indiana. That is a tremendous, tremendous accomplishment. Next component that we would really like to keep an eye on in education would be number 3, which would be technology. As we look at technology in our schools today and just look at the global economy that we live in, the technology that we use as digital learning tools cannot be different inside the schools and what's outside of the schools. We need our students to be equipped with the type of technology that's everyday use on the outside. Schools need funding in order to have that type of technology in their schools. And so we have to look at, in the state of Indiana, what are our resources for providing those types of tools, because they're critical for student achievement and giving them real-world simulation type things that are happening in that global economy. We cannot be different than the outside. So those technology tools are critical. Fourth, we would like to look at just the entire assessment piece that we're looking at. As we speak today, we're looking at the lawmakers are studying the Common Core state standards, and then just what would those assessments look like for schools. Educators have invested an enormous amount of time in Common Core state standards, and so it's really critical that we're not changing standards on teachers and letting them work through the standards that they have. They've invested a lot of time in it. When you know what you're supposed to teach and you know those standards, then that course of action with units of study and assessment help us better prepare kids for the achievement. We need to know what we're supposed to teach and not change it on them. Assessing college and career readiness is critical. Make sure that we're picking assessments that measure the right things. And so right now, as we're looking at I-STEP and ECA, measuring basic competencies, if we're really wanting to measure college and career readiness, pick assessments that help us measure college and career readiness. We've done a lot of work with ACT, obviously on the secondary side. When you start looking at going backwards and going all the way down to 3rd grade on what those college career readiness standards look like, we have to make sure that we have assessments that inform us how to enrich or intervene when we need to help kids achieve. Again, we're going to go back to that highlight from 2012 with higher education, but strengthening those ties for dual credit opportunities and providing internships for our students so that they have a charted path and they feel confident when they're leaving high school that they know where they're going. And then the last thing that we really want to talk about, just in terms of measuring success of our students, cannot just solely be tied to a standardized assessment. But if we're going to be looking at a standard assessment to measure growth and performance of schools, then we think it's critical to take a really good look at what a growth model is that truly measures growth. And we would ask that legislators specifically look at the growth model and get a statistician involved and make sure that we're measuring accurately what growth really, really looks like when you're giving that all-important report card grade to a school. And let's keep in mind that schools do many, many things besides the day of standardized testing. We are an environment that we help our students be productive citizens through service and citizenship. academic learning, and we provide for all of the needs that they have, whether it would be on a more social emotional side at home. And our teachers just do amazing things for kids. And so those are the things that we're looking forward to in 2013. When I step back and my colleagues do, looking at just what's accomplished, from the time that they come to kindergarten, from the time they walk across the stage with their diploma, educators do amazing things for kids. And that's really what it's truly about, student achievement, and how can we help them chart their future for success.